Michael, we'll start off looking back at the weekend. One thing that struck us was a very managed performance, not getting 10 or so goals, but a very, very managed performance from the boys.
Yeah, I thought it was a very good away professional performance from the lads. Controlled most of the parts of the game how we want to control it. Some really good performances, and I thought we dominated with him without the ball. Probably could have been more, but at the end of the day, we had to go there and get the 3 points, and that's what we did.
We know there's always tough games in this league, but if the club are to get where they want to this season, it's points that you kind of expect to pick up as well.
Yeah, I think at this stage of the season, it's too early to tell where teams are settling. For us, being where we are, for Cambridge being where they are, managers and players are still working things out. So I always think it's a bit early to tell, but ultimately you want to go and get 3 points, and we thought it was an opportunity to do that after seeing them and seeing what we can do. But it's no easy place. There's no easy place to go and get 3 points, and in times it's easy to go to those places and slip up and get a draw or lose. So it just shows the growth in the group and the mentality. And I thought professionally they looked really good, and again, it looked like we were in control most of the game.
We saw Ben come off. We know a few other players close to returning from the sidelines. Just an injury update on the squad.
Yeah, so Ben, he's been to hospital. Looks like a broken nose, so that could be a little bit of a while. But could be a couple of weeks, could be longer. So we need to get that fully assessed. So yeah, not great. Caught the keeper, I think. We've got Dylan Duffy's still out. He's still struggling with injury. The flu lads are back, so that's good news. So a few bodies back, and then the usual cases. Hamo and Rico still ready to go, but not quite there yet.
We talk about obviously Ben House being out, but you've got two strikers who came off the bench and ultimately scored the goals. It's that reliability of these strikers now that they're starting to fire and get those goals. That's got to be pleasing.
Yeah, I think it's always good when strikers score goals. But I like all the teams scoring goals, and I think that's what's important. It's always really important these strikers score goals, but everyone needs to chip in with goals and assists. And it's great that the lads get off the mark, and Housy's off the mark, and Jovan could have got off the mark, there's no doubt about that, but he's creating chances and he's doing really well. So we've got good depth in the striker area, as we have most of the squad this season. When you do start to get injuries and knocks and things like that, it's how strong we can carry on with the depth, and that's what we've gone for in the way we want to do it this season, so it's good.
And it's about managing the dynamics of the striker. We talk about having two strikers up front in your system, but they need to offer slightly different things. How do you go about juggling that partnership? We saw the substitution at half-time with Jovan. Is it making sure that the two up front complement each other?
Maybe. I thought the decision for Jovan at half-time was because he was on a yellow, and we thought as staff that we didn't want to give anything to Cambridge. A silly tackle, another yellow card, 10 men. We didn't want to give that upper hand to Cambridge so anything happened. But Jovan in the first half was very, very good. Good without the ball, good with the ball. Didn't get his goal, but he was very good. But ultimately, the striker decisions are generally based around, like you say, a little bit of a blend and how they complement, but also tactically what we think they're going to be up against. And it's really good to have in the building, 4 or 5 strikers, if you like. 5 strikers in the building that can all offer something slightly different. We even look at Rob Street, who was on the bench on Saturday, who's electric, who's been training really hard. Freddie Draper's got his goal, who's different, and he's still growing into being his version of a good striker, which is different from the others. And then you've got Jovan, who's great with link play. Bailey in behind. Ben House is one of the best pressers in league football, let alone League One. So the fact that we've got that blend up top is really exciting.
And we're starting to settle into the flow of the season. Like you say, teams are starting to get to where they will be roughly in the table. You're starting to see that chemistry within the squad and players really understanding each other.
Yeah, it's getting there. Still always takes time, and with like you say, with changes in the squad, that also takes time. But you can definitely see things getting there. But there's no doubt about it. It's going to be a tough old long season, and there's going to be ups and downs. But we started to grow. I still think the group's got loads more to go, but there's some really pleasing moments and aspects of the game on Saturday we were pleased with.
On to Tuesday and Blackpool. Steve Bruce, a manager that I'm sure you're well aware of. Just your thoughts on him as a head coach, one that you've probably watched countless times.
Yeah, obviously I know him, but I've never played against him and managed or coached against him, I don't think. But yeah, really experienced. You can just see by the way they're set up. I went to watch them against Huddersfield. The last 4 games he's gone in, he's used all of the experience to set them up, and they look really, really exciting team. They look a hard team to play against. They're scoring goals. it's going to be a tough trip. It's going to be a really tough trip for us. I think they'll be up there, definitely. But like anything, we always say, there's 3 points to be played for.
I mean, like you say, the top goal scorers in the league, joint top with Birmingham, I believe, but Lincoln, third best defence in the league. I think only Stevenage and one others have conceded only a goal less. So it's going to be not attack versus defence, but your strong defence and the chance to get a goal versus the onslaught of Blackpool, you'd imagine.
Yeah, I think they've been free-flowing with their goals recently. I think, the last 4 games they've won under the new management. So he's definitely got him set up to score, but he's got them really rigid, really strong defensively as well. Like I say, he's 1,000-odd games experience, knows where to put players and how to do it. So we're going to have to be really on it. We're going to have to be great defensively, and if we're going to get anything out of the game, we're going to have to be good in front of goal to try and win the game. But ultimately, we know it's going to be a tough trip. We know it's going to be difficult because they're flying at the moment, but it's definitely one, if we're on it, we can get something out of.
And then finally, a different game to what it would have been a month ago, and not the weekend trip to Blackpool that I'm sure you players might have wanted, just a cold Tuesday night to contend with.
Yeah, it's not too rainy, is it? So only joking. Yeah, but it's part of the business. We have to just do that and prepare right and make sure we get everything our end under control right, and then hopefully we can go and do the business.